Hello everyone, welcome back to the Python for Blender tutorial series. This is part 3, and in this part we are going to take a look at how to create user interfaces for our add-on in Blender. So before creating user interfaces, we first need to know what are the different types of UI that we can create in Blender. So we will start by taking a look at what are the different types of UI that we can create in Blender. After that, we will take a look at two important concepts, UI properties and UI layouts. UI properties is the one that is going to help us in defining what type of content we are going to show in the UI. And the UI layout is going to help us in defining how the UI should be structured. So we are going to use the first one for defining what type of data we are going to show in the UI. And the second one is for how we are going to show that data in the UI. So you can see these are all the different types of user interfaces that we can create in Blender. So the first one on the left side is known as panel-based user interface. I'll show you a demo of this. So where you can find this here, in the right side you can see the properties panel. You can also notice that it is tab based, so you can switch between the tabs, and inside the tab we can have a collapsible section, so we can place our add-on inside this. So these are panel based UI. The next one that we are going to see is a collapsible menu. I'll show you where you can find this. If you're in the 3D viewport, you can see something here. Okay, if you don't have this, press N key, it's going to throw you. Okay, so you can see it is also having tabs like this one. Okay, and inside this tab we can also have a collapsible section. Great, so let's go and take a look at the next one, a simple pop-up. Okay, I'll show you where you can get this. So we all know this very well, shift plus A key to get this pop-up. You can have sub menus inside that, and we can also drag and move this. Let's go and take a look at the next one. The next one is going to be the pie based user interface. This is also similar to the pop-up, but in this it is going to show in a 360 format. If you have ever used Maya, you can see a similar UI like this. So to get that pie based menu, first go to edit and go to preferences, and in the add-ons tab go and search for pie. Okay, make sure that it is enabled, and you can see there are a lot of shortcut keys, so you can use any of the shortcut keys to get that UI. So I'm going to press Ctrl plus A key, and you can see we can get this pie menu. So the last one is going to be similar to the pop-up that we have seen previously. I'll show you a simple script that I already have. Okay, don't worry about that script, just focus on what I'm showing. Okay, so this is how the user interface will look. We can also drag and move this, and we can also have any kind of value here. Okay, so we can also create user interfaces like this. Now we know that what are the different types of user interface that we can create in Blender. Now let's go and take a look at different UI properties. This is going to define what kind of data we are going to show. Let's go ahead and take a look at the BPY.Props module. So before talking about this module, I want to show you where this props module is. You can see in the left side BPY dot, and you can see here we are having different submodules, and here you can see props. Okay, you can find the props module under the BPY.Props. So, and you can see inside this we are having different types of properties: bool property, boolean vector, enum, float, int. So how we are going to use this property? What is the use of these stuffs? Okay, I'll show you that. So you can also see that I'm having the same list here, but the difference is I have removed a few properties. So we are going to focus mainly on these properties: integer, boolean, float, and string. So instead of explaining it here, I'm going to jump back to Blender and show you there. Okay, I already have a code here. We run the code. Okay, this is the user interface that I'm going to use for explaining the stuff. Okay, I'm going to remove this. Okay, and you can see we're getting a simple user interface. It is not having anything, it is just having the title. Okay, and we are going to fill this user interface based on the type of data that we want to show. Okay, great. I don't want you to focus on any of these codes. We'll talk about this in a later section. So I just want you to focus in this place. Okay, I already have a code here, so I have just moved everything, so just focus in this place. Okay, the first property that we are going to create is of type string. Okay, we can call it as name BPY.Props dot, and you can see here we are having string property. Okay, so let's see how this will appear in UI. Let's run this, and you can see we can type our name here. Okay, and if you want to change the name of this particular thing, you can just go here and say it as name equal to enter your name. Okay, let's run this, and you can see we are having enter your name. Great. So let's go and take a look at the next property, that is integer property. So age equal to BPY.Props dot int property, name equal to enter your age. Okay, so let's run this property, and you can see we can enter value here. Okay, we can also enter it like this, or we can use the stepper, and also we can do some customizations for this. For that, go to BPY.Props dot int property, and you can see you can if you wonder that what I'm pressing the tab key, or you can just go and click on autocomplete. So here you can see what are the different types of argument this function can take. You can see max, min. Okay, I'll show you what's the use of that max and min. So just add comma here, and min equal to 0, 1, max equal to 100. Okay, so if I'm going to run the script, if I drag this, the maximum value that I'm going to reach is 100, and the minimum value will be 1. Okay, if I type 555, you can see it is not going to consider that value, it is going to stick at 100. Okay, so you can also customize this like this. So let's go and take a look at the next property, alive BPY.Props dot bool property. Okay, let's go and make sure that whether it is bool or boolean. It's a bool property. Okay, spelling mistake. Okay, property, and the name of the property, alive or not, or dead, alive or dead, anything. Great. So let me run the script. Oh, there's something wrong, I think. Yeah, it is name. Great. So you can see alive or not. Okay, this is called the Boolean property, true or false. Okay, now we have seen what are string properties, what are integer properties, and what are Boolean properties. Now let's go and take a look at what are integer vector and Boolean vectors. Okay, so we have one more property that is called float. Let's go and take a look at that. What can I say? Height equal to BPY.Props dot float property, name equal to enter your height. Okay, so let's run the script, and you can see here, you can notice a difference. The height is coming with a decimal value. Okay, but here it is not going to be decimal one. So that's the difference between float and integer values. Okay, float allows us to store decimal values. Great. So now we know what is string, int, bool, and float. Let's go and take a look at the vector variant. Okay, that is integer vector, Boolean vector, and float vector. Okay, scale is equal to BPY.Props dot int vector, name equal to scale. Great. Let's run this. Oh, there's something wrong, I think. Yes, int vector property. Let's run this, and you can see we are having this value like this. So this stands for x, y, and z. This is similar to like the one we have here. Okay, now let's go and take a look at the next one, that is going to be floating vector. So let me copy this and paste this here. Rotation, and we can change the value from int to float. Change the name of it. Rotation. Let's run the script, and you can see we are having a decimal vector. Great. So the last one is going to be Boolean vector. So let me copy this and paste it here. Bool vectors. Okay, let me give some name like that. Okay, I'm going to give a name like this, and I'm going to change it to vector. So let me run this, and you can see we are getting 3 checkboxes here. Okay, great. So this is great. We can create a string property, and we can create integer property. We can create floating point properties. We can create Boolean properties and vectors like this. And you can notice one more thing here. Everything is in a single column. You can see name, age, alive or not. Everything is in a single column. What if we want to place the name here and the age here, height here, and the Boolean property here? What if we want to change the arrangement of this? That's the place where the UI layout is going to come. we need to understand what are rows and column layouts. So this is going to be the topic for next video. I'll see you in the next one.